I think most of us end up in the same place eventually. We find something that works for us, and then we stay there. The same camera settings, the same locations, same editing style, same lenses. Because we know exactly what they're going to give us. So I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone and bought this, the Helios 44M. It's a lens that's over 40 years old. Manual focus, zero image stabilisation, no electronic communication with the camera at all. By modern standards, it's completely obsolete. On paper, it's worse than every other lens that I already own. So why am I so excited to use it? This is my first time shooting with the Helios. I've watched countless videos, seen the famous swirly bokeh. I've heard people describe it as magical or overrated, depending on who's talking. It's the first vintage lens that I've bought for my cinema camera, and I bought it because I wanted to explore the unfamiliar. The first thing that I noticed was how much it slowed me down. Every shot became very intentional. There is no autofocus to rescue you, no image stabilisation to smooth over mistakes. If a shot works, it's because you made it work. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. I've seen these old lenses pop up on my various feeds recently, and I think the reason why they might be having a revival is because they do slow you down. In a world where cameras are getting smarter every year, it's nice to have something that still feels like you are not only involved with the process, but at the centre of it. So what is the 44M actually like? First off, the character. That's the word that people keep using to describe vintage lenses, and I think I finally understand why. The lens doesn't try to hide itself. It makes sure that it leaves its fingerprints on every image. Sometimes that's beautiful, sometimes it's frustrating. When it's wide open, it is so much softer than modern glass. Not unusable, just gentler, almost dreamlike, as if the image has been sanded slightly around the edges. Stop it back down and it becomes super sharp. Then there is the bokeh, the famous Helios swirl. It's definitely real, but it doesn't give itself up freely. You have to work for it. Busy backgrounds, the right distance, the right light. But when it appears, it's unlike anything a modern lens will produce. Flares are unpredictable, contrast drops, highlights bloom. Sometimes I loved it, sometimes I hated it. This isn't a lens that guarantees beautiful shots, but it is a lens that rewards experimentation. For example, normally if I miss focus, then that's the shot dropped. With this lens, missing focus became part of the learning. I found myself experimenting more, trying compositions I'd normally ignore, following the light instead of plans. And it reminded me of something that I'd recently forgotten. What it's like to shoot and film. You see, I started photography when I was 14, developing my own film in darkrooms. And I'm probably showing my age here, but taking photos and film is a waiting game. You don't know how the shot will turn out until you develop it. Shooting with the Helios reminds me a lot of that time. Looking through the viewfinder, or on your screen, trying to catch focus, it's a bit more difficult. Peaking doesn't work, because there's no electronic communication between the lens and the camera. What you shoot is what you get. This took me back to what it was like being a beginner again. That feeling of anticipation. Did you make a mistake? Nobody likes making mistakes, but every single skill I've learned started with lots. Somehow, somewhere along the way, we convince ourselves that feeling uncomfortable means that we're doing something wrong. I think that's not the case. Discomfort is the proof that we're growing. So would I recommend the Helios 44M? I would. Not because it has the sharpest image, because it doesn't. And if you're looking for reliable autofocus, this is definitely not for you. But if you want something that changes the way you shoot, something that forces you to slow down, to think, to experiment, then this little £50 vintage lens might be one of the best investments that you can make for your setup. It's not going to magically improve your films, but it might improve your eye for shooting something that you would have otherwise missed. My advice? Every now and then, pick something that feels uncomfortable. Try the camera movement that you've never attempted. Visit somewhere you've never filmed. Use the £50 lens that is completely outdated. You probably won't get everything right. I certainly didn't today. But you'll learn something. And in filmmaking, that's worth far more than another technically perfect shot. If you've used the Helios before, I'd genuinely love to hear what you think of it. And if you've been putting off trying something new, well, maybe this is your sign.